When she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with him, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house. And then she moved in while she was cool with the wife.
Like, a lot of guys are not prepared for strong women.
Talk about that.
I understand
part.
a lot of guys are not prepared for a strong woman. And what we have is, she's her boss, I'm my boss.
Buckle up, because the tea I'm about to spill is absolutely scalding. And when I tell you that Alicia Keys just broke the internet with what she's allegedly about to do, I mean she's about to flip the entire music industry upside down. If you thought this woman was going to sit back, stay quiet, and play the perfect little wife while Swizz Beatz runs around Hollywood like he's still single, you were wrong. Because according to multiple sources that are blowing up every corner of social media right now, Alicia Keys has officially had enough, and she's about to serve Swizz Beatz the divorce papers that will end their 15-year marriage once and for all.
A relationship that's over, and you're kind of remembering all the times that it was there, like you're remembering the way that they felt with their arms around you instead of just the covers being around you.
This isn't your typical celebrity marriage falling apart over irreconcilable differences, or some vague statement about growing apart. No, word on the street is that Swizz didn't just cheat on Alicia, he allegedly got his side piece pregnant, and that baby is supposedly due any day now. We're talking about a full-blown scandal that involves secret relationships, hidden pregnancies, and a pattern of betrayal that goes back over a decade. Now, social media detectives have been working overtime, and the evidence they've compiled is absolutely clear. We're talking about deleted Instagram posts, missing wedding rings in recent photos, and cryptic messages that suddenly make a whole lot more sense when you know what we know now. Fans started noticing that something was off when Alicia was spotted leaving what sources later confirmed was one of Hollywood's most ruthless divorce attorneys' offices, trying to hide her face like she didn't want anyone to recognize her. Here's where it gets even more explosive. This isn't some random hookup that happened once and resulted in an unexpected pregnancy. Multiple insiders are saying that Swizz has been carrying on this affair for months, possibly even longer, right under Alicia's nose. The disrespect is astronomical, especially when you consider that this is the exact same pattern that destroyed his first marriage to Mashonda back in 2008.
I think, like, a lot of times people think they own each other.
The financial implications alone are staggering. We're looking at a potential $20 million estate that's about to be split down the middle. Luxury properties in multiple states, shared business ventures, and complex custody arrangements for their 2 children together. But sources close to Alicia say this isn't about the money. This is about her dignity, her self-respect, and finally putting an end to a cycle of humiliation that she's been quietly enduring for far too long.
And it's not space where suddenly I feel like jealous or he feels as if I'm not paying him attention.
Industry insiders who have been whispering about this situation for months are now coming forward, saying they're not surprised this is how it's ending. One entertainment executive who spoke on condition of anonymity said the writing has been on the wall for years, and that anyone who is paying attention could see that Swizz never really changed his ways after marrying Alicia. The internet is absolutely losing its mind over this revelation, with hashtag Alicia deserves better trending worldwide, and fans divided between those who were supporting her decision to finally leave and others who are calling this karma for how she originally got with Swizz in the first place. But before we dive into that messy history, let's break down exactly what's happening right now and how this scandal is about to explode into one of the biggest celebrity divorce stories of the year. Now that we've covered the bombshell basics, let's dive into the specific details of how this entire situation unfolded, because the evidence that's emerging is painting a picture that's messier than anyone could have imagined. First, let's talk about this attorney situation, because when Alicia Keys hires legal representation, she doesn't mess around. Sources are confirming that she's retained the services of one of the most feared divorce attorneys in Hollywood. We're talking about someone who has taken down A-list celebrities and walked away with settlements that would make your head spin. This isn't someone that you call for a friendly, amicable separation. This is someone you hire when you want to absolutely destroy your opponent legally and financially. The fact that Alicia chose this particular lawyer tells us everything that we need to know about her mindset right now. she is out for complete victory.
At some point, you gotta like think what you think and feel how you feel, and you gotta stand behind it and stand for it.
But here's where things get really interesting from a timeline perspective. Multiple sources are saying that this pregnancy situation isn't some recent development that caught everyone off guard. The alleged side piece is reportedly about to give birth, which means this affair has been going on for at least 9 months, probably longer. That means Swizz was actively cheating on Alicia while they were celebrating their wedding anniversaries, posting happy family photos on Instagram, and presenting this perfect marriage image to the world. But here's the part that's absolutely mind-blowing. This entire situation was predicted years ago. I'm talking about blind gossip items from way back in 2021 that basically laid out this exact scenario. One blind item specifically mentioned an end of the alphabet-loving producer-rapper who was a serial cheater and would never go for someone famous because that already happened once, and he ended up having to marry her. The blind item went on to say that he keeps his cheating super quiet, but that it would eventually catch up with him when one of his side pieces got pregnant. That blind item was clearly talking about Swizz Beatz. And the fact that it mentioned a pregnancy being his downfall is giving me chills, because that's exactly what's happening right now. The person who submitted that blind item obviously had inside information, and they were basically warning us that this day would come. Another blind item from around the same time talked about a former A+ list singer turned A- list singer, whose husband had been cheating with his protege while she was busy with her television work. Alicia was doing The Voice at the time, and Swizz was mentoring up-and-coming artists, so again, the pieces fit perfectly. Industry whispers have been circulating for months about Swizz being seen around town with a mysterious woman who wasn't his wife. Sources say they were spotted at multiple industry events together, always sitting just far enough apart to avoid suspicion, but close enough that people in the know understood what was happening. One music executive revealed that it was an open secret in certain circles, and everyone was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. The most damaging part about all of this is that Alicia supposedly knew something was going on, but was trying to handle it privately. Sources close to her say she's confronted Swizz multiple times about his suspicious behavior, but he kept denying everything and making her feel like she was being paranoid and insecure. That psychological manipulation continued right up until she found out about the pregnancy, which was apparently the final straw that made her realize this marriage was beyond saving. But here's where this whole situation gets absolutely wild. And honestly, a lot of people aren't shedding tears for Alicia Keys because we need to talk about the elephant in the room. This is the exact same situation she helped create back in the day. The internet has a very long memory, and fans are quick to remind everybody that when Alicia and Swizz first got together, he was still very much a married man to Mashonda Tafrir. And before anyone tries to rewrite history or act like this is ancient gossip, we need to address what really happened because Jaguar Wright came forward and absolutely destroyed any fantasy people had about how this relationship started. When Jaguar Wright gets on live and starts talking, people listen, because she's been in the industry long enough to know where all the bodies are buried.
Y'all just don't hear nothing about
it. I thought her record was pretty clean.
No. Not around with Swizz and not breaking up happy homes.
Jaguar didn't just make casual accusations. She laid out the entire timeline of how Alicia Keys systematically destroyed Mashonda's marriage. According to Wright, people are forgetting the most damaging part of this whole story. When Alicia moved into Swizz and Mashonda's house to allegedly work on music with him, he was still married to his wife and living in that same house. This wasn't some innocent professional collaboration that turned romantic over time.
Like, people are forgetting when she moved into Swizz and them's house to work on the music with him, he was still married to his wife, living in that same house. And then she moved in while she was cool with the wife.
Think about how cold and calculated that is. Mashonda welcomed Alicia into her home, probably thinking she was supporting another female artist, and the whole time Alicia was plotting to steal her husband. Wright goes even further, suggesting that Alicia's motivations weren't just about wanting Swizz, but about covering up other aspects of her personal life that she didn't want the public to know about. The timeline makes this even more disgusting when you really break it down. This wasn't a situation where Swizz and Mashonda were separated or having marriage problems. that became public knowledge. They were actively living together as husband and wife, raising their son together and planning their 5th wedding anniversary when Alicia decided to insert herself into their marriage. What makes Jaguar's accusation so powerful is that she's not speaking from a place of jealousy or outside gossip. She was actually in the industry during this time period. She knew these people personally, and she watched this entire situation unfold in real time. When she talks about how Alicia would be cool with the wife while secretly pursuing the husband, that's not speculation. That's eyewitness testimony from someone who was there.
Like, I don't know how people look at any of these motherfuckers and believe anything that they say. They're actors.
Even more damaging is how Jaguar points out the hypocrisy of the later blended family narrative that Alicia, Swizz, and Mashonda tried to sell to the public. All those interviews where they sat together talking about their beautiful co-parenting relationship and how they'd moved past the drama. Jaguar is calling out exactly what it was: a carefully orchestrated PR campaign designed to rehabilitate Alicia's image after she'd been dragged as a homewrecker for years. But here's the part that really shows you the kind of person Alicia Keys was during this time period. Multiple sources have confirmed that Mashonda actually reached out to Alicia woman to woman, letting her know that she and Swizz were still married, still living together, and still working on their marriage. She asked Alicia to step back and let her handle her family situation. And what did Alicia do? She completely ignored those requests and continued pursuing a married man. This wasn't some passionate love affair where two people couldn't help themselves. This was a calculated decision by Alicia to destroy someone else's family because she wanted what that woman had. And the most infuriating part is how she tried to spin it afterward as this great love story, like she and Swizz were soulmates who couldn't deny their destiny. The karma aspect of this current situation is absolutely poetic. For over a decade, Alicia Keys got to enjoy the benefits of being married to a man she stole from another woman. She got the big wedding, the beautiful children, the Hollywood power couple status, and the public sympathy when people called her a homewrecker. She rehabilitated her image so successfully that most people forgot how she really got with Swizz in the first place. But now in 2025, she's allegedly finding out exactly how Mashonda felt back in 2008.
And I know you probably, have been asked this question, but okay, the whole situation with you, your husband, and Alicia Keys, is it true?
So things were fine in your marriage. You were good, so you thought. But then you found some credit card statements.
The late night phone calls, the suspicious behavior, the lying, the gaslighting, and ultimately discovering that your husband has been living a double life with another woman who's now pregnant with his child. The only difference is that Alicia doesn't have the excuse of being young and naive, like some people tried to give her back then. She's a grown woman who knew exactly what kind of man she married because she watched him cheat on his previous wife. What's even more telling is how differently people are reacting to Alicia's situation now versus how they reacted to Mashonda's situation back then. When Mashonda was going through this betrayal, she was criticized for being bitter, for not moving on, for airing her business publicly. But now that it's happening to Alicia, suddenly everyone understands why a woman would be devastated by this kind of betrayal. The internet is absolutely ruthless right now with the "you lose them how you got them" comments. And honestly, they're not wrong. Swizz Beatz showed Alicia exactly who he was when he cheated on Mashonda. But she thought she was special. She thought she was different. Thought he would never do to her what he did to his first wife. And now she's learning the hard way that leopards don't change their spots. This is why Jaguar's words hit so differently now than they did when she first said them. She wasn't just dragging Alicia for past behavior. She was warning everyone about the kind of karma that eventually catches up to the people who destroy other people's families for their own selfish gain. But here's the part that makes this whole situation so much more sinister than just a simple affair. And it reveals everything you need to know about Alicia Keys' character. When Alicia was 14 and Swizz was 16, he asked her for her number, and she completely rejected him. Her words were, "Nah, I'm good. I'll just see you when I see you." She had absolutely zero interest in this man when he was single and available.
And it was kind of a little standoffish, and we agreed each other, but it was like I asked for her number. I didn't get it at that time.
For years after that initial meeting, Alicia and Swizz kept crossing paths at industry events and award shows. She consistently found him irritating and wanted nothing to do with his flashy lifestyle. She described him as totally annoying, and then said she didn't really like him that much. This went on for nearly a decade, from when they were teenagers all the way into their 20s. During this entire time period, when Swizz was single, when he was dating around, when she was available and interested in her, Alicia couldn't have been less impressed. She actively avoided working with him professionally, even when her team suggested collaborations. She thought his whole persona was over the top and annoying. But suddenly, mysteriously, in 2008, when Swizz was married to Mashonda with a young son and celebrating their marriage, Alicia discovered that he had depth. Suddenly, she could see past the baggy jeans and tattoos that had bothered her for over a decade. Suddenly, his mind was fascinating to her. What changed? The only thing that changed was his marital status. This pattern reveals something deeply disturbing about Alicia's psychology. She had no interest in Swizz when he was available, single, and actively pursuing her. But the moment he belonged to another woman, the moment he had built a family with someone else, the moment there were real consequences and real people who could be hurt, that's when he became irresistible to her. Now here's where Swizz Beatz really shows his true colors, and it's absolutely disgusting how he's managed to spin this entire narrative. This man has turned into the poster child for blended families and beautiful partnerships, acting like he's some kind of relationship guru, when he's literally the one who destroyed his first marriage through infidelity, and is now allegedly doing the exact same thing to his second wife. In every single interview, Swizz talks about their family dynamic like it's some kind of magical achievement. He goes on and on about how proud he is of their co-parenting situation and how they've created this one big, beautiful family. But what he conveniently leaves out of this beautiful situation only exists because he was a serial cheater who forced 3 women to clean up the mess he created.
Everybody has their right to react. Everybody have their right to their emotions, and everybody have their right to figure out how to move forward as adults and as parents and as grown-ups, and don't be a part of the show.
Listen to how he talks about it like he basically deserves some kind of award for basic decency. The man is literally patting himself on the back for having dinner with the woman whose marriage he destroyed and the woman he cheated with. He's acting like he's some kind of relationship pioneer, when really, he's just a man who created chaos and then forced everyone else to figure out how to make it work for the sake of the children. The most infuriating part is how he never once expresses genuine remorse for what he put Mashonda through. In every interview, he talks about misunderstandings and communication issues, like their marriage ended because of some minor disagreement, not because he was actively cheating with multiple women while his wife was at home with their child.
You know, at the end of the day, it's soft spots with all of these different things. Like it's like although we've moving on to the different level, I think the way that we made it easy was just saying, you know what? It's about the kid involved.
This smug, superior attitude that Swizz displayed after his divorce was exactly why everyone with half a brain knew he was going to cheat again. He never showed genuine remorse, never acknowledged the real damage he caused, and acted like he deserved praise for cleaning up his own mess. Now that the day of reckoning is here, and Alicia can do nothing but go with the flow.